Gear up, boys. We might be one step closer to seeing the mainstream media and the establishment academia getting one step closer to acknowledging some things might not be quite so kosher with history as they have always tried to make them seem. In an article titled Archaeologists Uncover Evidence of High-Tech Machines Used by Ancient Egyptians to Build the Pyramids Thousands of Years Ahead of Their Time by Arezki Amiri from Daily Galaxy, we get the following. New research has recently shaken up the long-held idea about how the ancient Egyptians built the Great Pyramids, while the traditional belief suggests the massive stone blocks were hauled up massive ramps by thousands of workers, and groundbreaking theory now suggests that the Egyptians may have used a hydraulic lift system instead, an advanced technology that could have enabled the construction of the pyramids with incredible precision. I think a lot of us looking at this have kind of intuited this for a very long time. How do you get those massive stones moved, for one? But anyone who has ever tried to parallel park a car, anyone who's ever tried to move a heavy thing into a very specific spot knows that you can move the thing a great deal. You can drive the car a great while. That's not what sucks. What sucks is that last little bit, right? So, say you're using all of these people to move the stone. You're using 1,000 people's force to move the stone. By the time you get that stone right next to where it has to be, you have lost a great majority of the ability of people to move that stone because you don't have all four sides of the stone from which you can try to move things. You have to, especially the closer you get it butted up to another stone, you're only pressing force on that stone from one side. So I think it makes sense to a lot of us that there's no way that things were done exclusively how they are being communicated to us. The new theory comes from a team of French researchers led by Xavier Landreau, who published their findings in PLOS 1, PLOS 1. Their research suggests that the step pyramid of Djoser, built around 2680 BC, was constructed with the help of water-powered engineering. I have long wondered about this. For a civilization like Egypt, that so much rested on water coming and going with the Nile River. When the Nile comes, when the Nile goes, you had to know it. You had to map it. You had to act on it. It makes sense that they would take water as a primal mechanism by which to get things done. Let's take a deeper dive into this exciting theory and what it could mean for our understanding of Egyptian technology. Hydraulic lifts over ramps. For over a century, historians and archaeologists have agreed that the Egyptian pyramids were built using ramps. Historians and archaeologists, okay, which ones? Large mud brick structures that allowed workers to haul massive stone blocks up into place. But Landreau's team challenges this idea with a bold new theory. The construction of the pyramids may have involved a hydraulic lift system powered by water. Their research found evidence of an advanced system that could have raised the blocks from the core of the pyramid. The theory hinges on the idea that rather than lifting stones up steep ramps, the Egyptians might have floated them using hydraulic pressure. This volcano construction technique, as they call it, would have involved lifting the stones using water to create buoyancy inside the pyramid's central shafts, allowing blocks to be placed with great precision. The team's investigation focused on several features of the Saqqara Plateau, where the step pyramid stands. They looked at the topography, hydrology, and even satellite imagery, which led them to suggest that ancient Egyptians could have harnessed water from the nearby wadis, ephemeral streams, to power these hydraulic systems. And then you have a diagram here of the Dozier complex, the upper water drainage basin, drainage divine, lower drainage. So basically everywhere where this would have been happening. The hydraulic components, Geyser El Mudir, and the dry moat. A crucial part of this theory is the Geyser El Mudir. I have no idea how to say that, if it wasn't obvious. Structure. A massive enclosure west of the pyramid that has puzzled archaeologists for years. So that is this right here. If you can see it, it looks kind of like a football field stenciled into the ground there. The researchers proposed that this structure wasn't just a ceremonial or decorative feature. I'm so tired of hearing about ceremonial and decorative features. I think that half the stuff we think we know about ancient civilizations we attribute to religion, and they probably had nothing to do with a religion, but rather a functional check dam designed to trap sediment and manage water flow. By regulating the water flow from the nearby Abusir Wadi, the enclosure could have ensured a steady supply of water to power the hydraulic system used to lift the stones. This theory gains further support from the dry moat that surrounds the pyramids. Originally thought to be purely symbolic, again, thought to be symbolic. Why would it be symbolic? Maybe it had some use. The moat may have been an active water filtration system, helping to clean the water before it was used in the pyramid's construction. By examining the structure of the moat and the presence of deep rock-cut compartments, the team concludes that it may have functioned as a part of a larger water management system, controlling both the water quality and its flow to the pyramid's central shafts. Together, these structures suggest that water wasn't just a passive part of the environment in Egypt, it may have been a crucial part of the engineering tools used to build the monumental pyramids. Again, it only makes sense for a civilization for whom water would have played the power of water, the temperament of water would have played such a large part in their yearly cycle. The evolution of Egyptian hydraulic engineering. Egyptians were no strangers to hydraulic engineering. They mastered the art of using waterways for irrigation, transportation, and even for lifting heavy objects such as transporting large stone blocks via barges. However, the discovery of a hydraulic lift system within the step pyramid suggests that their technological prowess may have been greater than we realized. Landreau and his team argue that this form of hydraulic engineering would have been far ahead of its time, potentially predating any known water lifting technology by thousands of years. If proven true, this would add a remarkable layer to our understanding of ancient Egyptian innovation, showing how the Egyptians may have developed technology far ahead of its time. The findings also suggest that the pyramid builders could have achieved extraordinary levels of precision, which is evident in the meticulously crafted stone blocks and the internal architecture of the step pyramid. The shafts and tunnels inside the pyramid display an alignment and level of precision that would have been nearly impossible to achieve without advanced planning tools and construction techniques. And finally, unanswered questions and the need for further exploration. While the hydraulic lift theory is exciting, it remains unconfirmed. The absence of King Dozier's remains inside the pyramid and the lack of typical funerary inscriptions fuel speculation that the pyramid may have served a more practical, perhaps even mechanical, purpose than initially thought. If the hydraulic lift system theory holds up, it could reshape the historical understanding of pyramid construction and possibly explain some of the architectural anomalies within the step pyramid complex. The researchers call for more excavations, particularly around the connections between the dry moat Geyser El Mudir and the pyramid's internal shafts. These excavations could provide more concrete evidence to support the idea that hydraulic systems played a significant role in pyramid construction. As the research into these ancient technologies continues, we may find that the pyramids were built not only with human ingenuity and determination, but also with the help of water, a resource that in ancient Egypt was likely seen as both a gift and a tool for monumental achievement. Um, we're one step closer, I think, to a couple more people turning that page and deciding maybe some of our understanding of ancient worlds is just a little bit off base, a little bit off kilter. I think that we often frame the ancient world a little bit too colloquially through time, looking at, well, what do we think today, and trying to transpose those thoughts and abilities onto people of the past, whereas they would have had completely different belief trees and technology trees and all sorts of these things. So it is a step in the right direction, in my opinion, that we are now getting more and more discussion over things like this, or the ground penetrating things around the pyramids that I never really got into on this channel. Maybe I will eventually, but where they thought there were shafts under the pyramids, and still think that there are shafts under the pyramids, etc. But anyway, guys, that's what I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting a like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other people interested in ancient archaeology, etc. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, this is one of the things I do here, so consider hitting the subscribe button to stick around for more. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.